Okay, we have the feed motor, and we've covered that, and we're going to need to talk about snap discs here for a minute, because most of the safety systems of the stove are built into that feed motor. The snap discs, once again, are just like light switches. They're either on or they're off. Now normally there's only 3 snap discs in the stove, and this is the number 1 snap disc. That runs a convection blower. Now, a convection blower is that blows the heat out of the stove. There's power to this switch all the time, and that's just like a light switch. That one's normally turned off. When that gets hot, it's on. Then that's the number 1 snap disc, that's the number 2 snap disc, and back here on the auger tube is the number 3 snap disc. Okay, so the number 1 is a convection blower. The number 2 is for the feed motor. If the number 1 disc doesn't turn that blower on, the stove is going to overheat. This one trips and turns it off, kills the power to the feed motor. And it's the same thing with the number 3 snap disc, which is right on the feed tube here. These 2 wires back here, that's the number 3 snap disc. If the stove gets too hot there, turns it off and kills the power to the feed motor. And then the other place that the power comes from or goes through to on its way to the feed motor is the vacuum switch. And the vacuum switch is this thing here with a rubber tube hooked on the back of it. Okay, so when the stove, we have, if the igniter is glowing and the exhaust blower is running, we have temperature, we have oxygen, but we don't have fuel. So the path to get the power to the fuel, to get the auger to run, goes through first from the control box back to the vacuum switch. Now the vacuum switch is just a rubber diaphragm in there, and it's just like the light switch. It's very simple. That rubber diaphragm just clicks that closed and lets the power through. Now that is connected to this rubber hose, which is connected up to this rubber hose, and that just is checking for vacuum in the stove to make sure that the discharge isn't blocked or the door is not open. Okay, so the power goes from the vacuum switch to the number 2 snap disc to the number 3 snap disc to the auger motor. So it has to go through those 3 checkpoints before the auger will run. And that's the snap discs and the vacuum switch.